Hello, my name is Henry and this is News Pulse at UATV. I know you've been waiting. Welcome to the daily segment. Today in the episode, hunt is onwards. 12 more shadow ships hit overnight July 16th. Crimea siege continues with fires at the peninsula are recorded even by NASA satellites. Keir Starmer, Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, and Hakan Fidan, Foreign Minister of Turkey, visited Kyiv. Learn why and what were the results of the visit. Russian economy is giving the whole new meaning to a black hole term. See for yourself in our story for you. Seek and Destroy fiery show is onward, funded, produced, promoted and well played, if you ask me, by Ukrainian Defense Forces Unmanned Systems Commander Robert Madyar Brovdi. Enjoy. It is a 9 dry cargo vessels, 1 oil tanker, 1 gas tanker and 1 tugboat to give you the perspective in the context of 2 seas, the Azov Sea and the Black Sea, in July 6th to 17th time span. Unmanned systems of Ukraine have either destroyed or at least severely damaged as much as 117 Russian Shadow Fleet vessels in Azov Sea and 42 more in the Black Sea, totaling to 159 Russian shadows exposed to the light. Experts say Russian fleet is large. Indeed, it has around 1,100 vessels in it. So at Madyar's pace, it is roughly 20 weeks to hunt them all down. We'll surely keep you posted on developments. Ukrainian drones seem to be persistently visiting Crimea and checking on Russians, way more often, by the way, the Kremlin does. It could really make one wonder, does the Kremlin even care about objective reality these days? And the data from NASA Fire Information for Resource Management System firms satellites provides us with a clear answer. On the night of July 17th, Ukrainian drones visited the temporarily occupied Kerch, as a result of which warehouses and trains caught fire at the local railway station. A fire in this area was recorded even by the NASA firm's satellite services. Also, according to telegram channels on the ground, an oil depot and an electrical substation there caught fire right in the city. According to OSINT channels, the fire also broke out near the city of Koktebel, where electrical substation and a pumping station were targeted. Ukrainian Channel 24 reports on that. And that is not all. Good drones also visited the temporarily occupied Hranitne in the Donetsk region in Ukraine. As a result of a drone strike, the fire broke out near the newly built by Russians railway bridge, which was also recorded by NASA firm's satellites. The United Kingdom and Sweden are allocating additional £300 million to purchase modern aircraft for Ukraine. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer made this announcement during a joint press conference with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in Kyiv. According to Starmer, Ukraine will receive 16 modern fighter jets from its partners, which will help to defend Ukrainian airspace against Russian terror attacks. London is providing this direct assistance in cooperation with Stockholm.
That the UK will provide €300 million of support, working together with Sweden to provide 16 new advanced aircraft to help defend Ukraine's skies. Confirmation once again that the British people stand with you with everything we have.
Turkey is ready to lead the maritime component of future international security guarantees for Ukraine. Work in this direction is already underway, said Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan, who arrived in Kyiv for a visit. At a joint press conference with Ukrainian Foreign Minister Andriy Sybiha, he emphasized that Ankara consistently supports Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity and is ready to continue its mediation efforts to establish peace.
One of the most important elements of a possible peace agreement is the security guarantees being discussed for Ukraine. These guarantees include land, sea, and air components. Turkey has agreed to lead the maritime component. We have reached an understanding with our allies on this matter. The navies of the relevant allied states are already planning in this regard. Maintaining peace in the Black Sea is a necessary and vital condition. Therefore, Turkey continues to advance initiatives to ensure the security of shipping and energy infrastructure in the Black Sea.
As reported by Ukraine's foreign intelligence service, Russians does not believe in the Kremlin made-up stories about the stability of the economy to the extent when Russians are buying foreign currency en masse. In May alone, the number of requests for currency exchange transactions increased 12 times, 12-fold. Despite sanctions and the authorities' anti-Western rhetoric, the dollar and the euro remain the most popular currencies amongst Russians. More details in our story for you.
Another line near the Bird River. I don't know where it even ends. Let's drive forward and see.
I've been standing here for so long, I just came to get my car.
Gasoline prices in Russia are setting new record highs. Since the beginning of the year, gasoline has become 16.5% more expensive, and diesel by 18%, Bloomberg estimated. Citizens now have to pay up to 76 rubles per liter of gasoline. The authorities have already banned the export of diesel fuel, gasoline, and aviation fuel. The largest gas station network in the Krasnoyarsk region, Krasnoyarsk Nefteprodukt, has introduced fuel sales via coupons, while the Tatneft network restricted the sale of gasoline and diesel and switched to cash-only transactions. In temporarily occupied Crimea, a liter of fuel is reaching 350 rubles, local media report. The rising cost of fuel is already driving up inflation in other sectors of the economy, analysts note.
Rising fuel prices also have a significant impact on the prices of other goods and services, the central bank said in its monthly report on economic trends late Wednesday. The extent of possible secondary effects largely depends on how long the supply shock on the fuel market lasts, it added, from a publication by Bloomberg.
On July 6th, the Ukrainian Defense Forces struck the Omsk oil refinery, the largest oil processing plant in Russia, located 2,400 kilometers from the Ukrainian border. The fuel crisis has hit not only local gas stations, but also municipal services. The authorities of the Kalashinsky district in the Omsk region reported difficulties with waste disposal due to a fuel deficit for garbage trucks. The crisis could also affect the military sector, experts warn.
Even today, we already see that there is not enough gasoline for state needs themselves, and not just for some broad state needs, but specifically to sustain the delivery of certain services like medical ones, when it comes to ambulances and many others. And I understand that eventually a massive gap arises between supply, and a problem also emerges regarding the supply to the military-industrial complex of the Russian Federation.
The Kremlin is trying to combat the deficit by importing gasoline from Belarus and India. Putin acknowledged the fuel problem, but he does not plan to halt hostilities. The Russian dictator is calling on large companies, quoting, not to hoard gasoline and to share it with competitors.
We just need to organize the work together with vertically integrated companies to reach agreements faster.
Knocking out such a large number of oil refineries, combined with a tax on ports, prevents the aggressor country from reaping excess profits from energy sales. The federal budget deficit of Russia could exceed official targets by more than 1 trillion rubles, Reuters estimated.
The expenditure structure of the Russian economy right now is absolutely unhealthy. It cannot sustain economic, not even development, let alone investment in industries required for the organic and stable existence of the economy. It currently functions solely to sustain the military machine, which, if it stops, will lead to catastrophic consequences, both in terms of panic and Russia's economic standing in the world.
According to the Foreign Intelligence Service of Ukraine, the Russian budget received over $13 billion in tax revenues following the results of the first quarter of 2026. This is a third more than a year ago. However, the agency noticed that the income of large enterprises fell by 20%, indicating a heavier tax burden on ordinary citizens. As a reminder, starting January 2025, the corporate tax was increased from 20 to 25%, and the authorities also eliminated a number of tax breaks for enterprises. Reported by Andriy Dmitrenko, UATV News.
Well, that's it for today. I'm Henry Keane. We are UATV. Thank you for watching this segment. We appreciate your time with us this week. Thank you. Please also share, comment, subscribe to UATV. We've got you covered on whatever the next week holds for all of us, but always as usual in Ukrainian perspective. So please stay safe and come back to see us next week. Goodbye.